Welcome to our third episode of Open Process. So, what did you do this week, Serge?
Well, I applied for two internships at my school. One that's fully in school, one that's like in and out of school. One for cybersecurity and AI, just like my club, and then another one for a lot of different topics, but I mainly went to that one for community service hours for my school. What about you, Tim?
I photoed a lot of things, especially in this case, stuff in the sky. I photoed the moon, especially interesting this time, not because, well, it's the moon, but because there was a lunar eclipse, which means that the moon was passing through Earth's shadow, which makes it look, well, dark and red. So, quite cool there. And also, I managed to photo Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus, three different planets, all
Hmm.
green. And Jupiter and Saturn, especially happy about because I also can see in the photos their moons, the things that were,
Oh,
yeah, as tiny
that is
dots.
sick.
Still, yeah, it's great. So there.
So, yeah, I remember last time, well, now 2 episodes ago, you said that you couldn't take a picture of like Mars because there would have been a dot, and you wanted to take a picture of Jupiter because it's obviously a bigger planet. Is it the same problem with Saturn? Like it's just a bigger planet, but
Okay, so actually, first of all, last time I might have said that Jupiter I'll have to wait way longer. I woke up at 5 a.m. to photo the moon and figured out that, wait, Jupiter's up. I could photo it too. That was really exciting and great. But, right, Jupiter and Saturn are far bigger than Mars, and though they're farther away, they still look much bigger in the sky. So they actually look like circles. But Venus, unfortunately, is still a dot like Mars. It was just really interesting to photo it because it's a unique experience to me, because it's so close to the sun.
yeah,
Effectively, you have to photo it around sunrise. Even though it does look like a dot and it's not particularly impressive, it's still an achievement for myself. That's not
yeah.
something I'm showing to everyone. Look, I photoed Venus. Wait, that? Yeah, tiny dot. Kind of boring. What's cool though is Jupiter and Saturn, because they actually look like full circles, and around them there's multiple dots, multiple moons. In the case of Saturn, you can see one, Titan, which I'm really happy about because Titan is a very unique moon. It has, yes, so it has lakes of methane and ethane on its surface.
Oh,
For reference, methane and ethane are hydrocarbons. That's usually what powers your gas stove on Earth. So
yeah.
having lakes of that in liquid form at negative 180 degrees on the surface is pretty cool. Just saying.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Titan's interesting. And then
Hmm.
for Jupiter, it was interesting that you could see Io, Ganymede, and Callisto. Ganymede and Callisto are both really big moons, bigger than ours, and I believe they are the two largest moons in the solar system. No, Callisto is a little lower, but Ganymede is the largest in the solar system. So they're icy, and Io is covered in volcanoes, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's so there. That's that.
The just a quick question for Jupiter. Did you take a picture of like the side where you could see like that little circle thing? I think it was like a storm or something that
Red
always happens there.
the red dot.
Hmm.
No, unfortunately, because Jupiter's a bit too bright for my camera, I it's all just a big white circle. You can't see details. I'll
Yeah.
have to maybe try later. I don't know if it's when it's smaller or dimmer. Try that. You could not see the red dot. I don't know if it was facing me or not
Yeah.
because it's a white
What
spot.
about Saturn? What about the ring of Saturn? Like,
You
is
can
that
see that.
visible?
Yes, which is
Okay.
something I'm quite proud of because I was really worried about that, or not really worried, but nervous because his ring is currently almost perfectly face on to us. So, and since it's actually really, really thin, it's just well, thin by planetary scales. If
Yeah.
you actually looked at it, it's around as thick as a, about a little less than a kilometer. So it's pretty huge for Earth scales, but kind of tiny for that. So if it's facing exactly at us, it could be perfectly invisible. It's just tiny bit off, just enough so that
Yeah.
Saturn looks like this, circled
That.
with a nice little line across it. So
Yeah.
once I show the photos in the actual video, you can see that. That's cool. I think it's nice.
Yeah. This that does sound fun to like look at them with your naked eye or something, not just through a photo you find on social media.
Yeah.
Well, for me, like I said, I applied for two internships. So far, got into one. I'm waiting for the response for the second one. But the one that I applied to earliest was cybersecurity slash AI one, where I would be learning about cybersecurity, doing stuff with cybersecurity and AI just in general. The application process was pretty simple. It was just like a survey on like Google Forms, basically. It was just like your name, email, blah, blah, and a couple questions like, what do you like to do? Like, what have you done before that involves cybersecurity and stuff like that. I answered those in pretty big paragraphs. And I also put in my resume there because it's an internships kind of getting serious there. Yeah. So they accepted me like 4 days later. It was later than they were supposed to accept, like then send me the application letter, like acceptance letter. But they did send it short notice that same day that we got accepted, we went to the first meeting. My campus for my school is pretty big. It's a private school, so there's a lot of stuff there. And we have this like big library called the Alvin Sherman Library. And at the top floor is the robotics, cybersecurity, AI section. I was very surprised. Like we took an elevator to go up there. The moment we walked out, like there's like a balcony, and on the balcony there's three see-through TVs, like TVs that are like a glass, and you can see through them. But they
Oh,
also showed the image that the TV shows, like a very bright and very detailed.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, what year are you living in? Excuse me. So,
I'm living in
it's like
2020.
I'm just hearing. I live in a I go to a big school. Okay, sure. We're going to this library, which has a name, not just the library. All right. I went up in the elevator. Excuse me, and the balcony with these wonderful TV screens that are see-through. Pardon? Okay,
Yeah.
private school. Got it.
Yeah,
Got
okay.
it.
So that was
All
the
right.
intro to the floor. And then when we walk in, there's just like a bunch of areas where you could sit, talk, corner, a bunch of like big areas that are weren't filled for some reason, but I don't know why. Then we came to this section where we just sat down, introduced each other. The lady who was gonna teach us like introduced herself, introduced what we're gonna do that day, and like went over a little bit about what cybersecurity was. And then after that, we went to a different room, which was like six three monitor setups with a PC. We could like sit at each one. And we went on like a certain website and like called cybersecurity is like everything to keep safe online, and most people do it on computers. So instead of doing it on the computers that they gave us with the three monitor setup, like if we mess something up, the computer's done for it. So they gave us a website where it simulates an actual computer where you could do that stuff to learn how to do it, and then obviously do it on like an actual computer. So that first day was kind of like very simple. I knew a bunch of the stuff from my class that I took last year, cybersecurity class. I'm excited for next week. We do it every other Tuesday, so it'd be lasting this whole semester. From the schedule that they showed us at the interest meeting, which was before you apply, you have to go to this like interest meeting. I mixed up the order, but you have to go to the interest meeting where they talk about what the internship's going to be and what we'll do each week. So by looking at that schedule, seems very fun. And at the end, we met a robot called Pepper that laughed when you pet her on the head, which was funny. Like you could go like this on the head and it starts laughing. Then it started dancing randomly for no reason. Like nobody asked it to dance, but it just decided to. And apparently it could give a fist bump, but it was broken at the time. It couldn't give a fist bump. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
When you're saying robot, do you mean like humanoid,
Yeah, it
big,
wasn't like legs, it was
small?
like on wheels, but it was like a body from like waist up, a head and hands. So like moved, danced around his
Okay.
hands and like
Sounds a little random, just like, so this is the internship you want to participate in. Now look at this robot. Okay.
yeah. And then there's also like other robots where they just like one of those. They looked. I don't know what they exactly do because it was parked and charging. But you have you seen those? Have you seen like on social media where the robots are like driving around and giving food or like on like
Ah,
different plates and they
wait.
come like that? It looked like that, but didn't have trays. But I don't know what they did. But they there's robots all over the place there. So it
Okay.
was like the robotics slash engineering section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So you chose two internships and you've got it one. What's the second one?
The second one, it's called like One World Quest. I think it was created by some students and like some parents. But so there's different sections in it. There's like marketing, there's coding, there's business, and then there's something else. So you again had to fill out another form about like what you would like to do, which thing you would you like to pick. You only could pick one. Sadly, I would have picked marketing and coding, but coding is more my way, so I
Yeah.
picked coding and submitted my resume. So almost same thing. So I already knew what to do. I did it. A couple days later, not that long of a wait, there was an interview, and like when I came to talk, there was like two students that were part of the club. They were like presidents of it or something, and then a parent. And she started asking me questions about like what I would like to do at the club, just like for more detail rather than the survey slash form. And she was like, she had my resume open and she kept like saying how good it was. Like every other like minute or so, she'd be like, your resume is good. I don't know what half this stuff means, but it is good. And so I would be on the coding team. There'd be meetings like every Monday, I think they said, or like every other Monday. And coding team would be different stuff. So the main part of like the internship is, well, making like a program or like a website for little kids to learn how to code. It's mostly for kids who don't have like the money or the resources for like a computer to actually do what they want. So we come and show them this program and help them like in person so they can ask us questions and stuff. And we'd be doing that in other places and at my school for like lower school. So like the
Mhm.
lowest, almost the lowest you could go. Like there's preschool and then there's lower school. So very excited for that. I should be getting my acceptance or denial sooner or later. But by
All
the
right.
glazing, I think I should be accepting it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It should be good. All right. That's really cool. Nice.
Hmm.
So,
How
which one?
long? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
You can ask.
Oh, I was just wondering which of the internships you're more excited for, or which one you thought of first as something you wanted to do.
Well, for either internship, like my school sends out this email of just stuff that is happening in the next month or so, like every month. And it's like there, I checked it out and there was like different internships. There's like the cybersecurity one, there's some business one and some other one. So I was like, oh, cybersecurity, sure, I'll apply to that. It's new this year. So like it'd be interesting to like an internship, like as well, putting on my resume. That's a good thing to put on your resume. So
Mhm.
I obviously applied to that. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it also had an interview. It was with the main woman that led the whole thing, one person who worked in cybersecurity, and the head of high school. So it was
Mhm.
a pretty tough interview.
Mhm.
Like I'm just sitting there with like three big people, and they were like asking about my grades. They're like, "Your grades low here." I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm working on that. I'll lift it up just like so they know that I'm working on stuff and I'd be good and available for this internship." So I got
Mhm.
accepted after that. And then on that same email, yeah, in the high school section, the second internship was showing as like an opportunity for service hours. I was like, okay, service hours, there's coding involved. That's my thing. So I'll apply to that. So yeah, that's how it is. There's also like other ones. There's another one there's like a STEM one I'm also gonna apply. So it's gonna be three in 1 year. Yep. Okay, one question about the planets. How long did taking each like thing take? Did you take them all like this in the morning or was it like spread out?
Saturn I photoed a couple days ago, so that was a little bit annoying. I had to keep readjusting the telescope because the telescope is not automatic. I have to physically move it. Saturn moves really quickly across the sky, or more accurately, we move really quickly compared to Saturn away from it, which is annoying. So I had to keep readjusting that. That took me around 20 minutes, but the actual photos take like a couple seconds. It's just properly lining my phone up, because again, not professional setup. I'm just shoving my phone camera into a professional telescope, just
Yeah.
trying to find this. So again, sorry, not even professional telescope, amateur telescope. So not perfect setup for anything.
Yeah.
And the Jupiter, Venus, and Moon, I woke up at 5:30 this morning so I could take all of those. Venus and Jupiter, I did not expect those. I just thought I would be going out with my parents onto the field to photo the moon because it's going red. That's rare. That's a cool event.
Yeah.
And I just noticed something really bright, and I have this nice app which I can use to identify what different things are in the sky. It's just a
Yeah.
sky map. And I'm like, oh, swear word, enter swear word here. That's Jupiter. Oh my God, I was waiting for that for like, I was hoping to see that next year, not
Yeah.
this random morning. And we have time with the moon. It's setting, but it's got plenty of time. Let's do that sidetrack. Oh wait, what's that next to where the sun is rising? That's Venus. I never thought I'd photo that.
Back to back
So
to back.
back to back cool events, and then going back to the moon for some last photos because it's continually disappearing, going redder, darker. So I
Yeah.
got three photos of the moon. Well, a little more than three, but three good ones. So
Yeah.
that's what happens.
That's cool. For
Mm.
you said that Saturn moves quick and you have to keep changing it. When you had like the telescope set up at one like angle slash level, whatever, if you looked at, could you see Saturn like moving like
Yeah,
with your
yeah,
eyes? Like it looked like it was just moving off the
exactly,
what you saw.
exactly. Yeah.
That that's great.
So I have to slowly move the telescope with it, or as I was doing, jerk it ahead of the pattern and let it drift into shot so I can photo it, and
In
then
time, yeah.
bring it back again. Yeah, instead. Again, because also the way I look at the sky and the way I look at through the telescope are separate because the telescope reflects it at an angle which makes it like 135 degrees off, so it's almost upside down, but not quite compared to the way the
Hmm.
real sky looks. So I'm just going off the telescope and not looking at the sky because I'm moving the telescope so that I'm moving up with Saturn, but Saturn's actually moving down. So it's
Oh,
all weird. It's not quite
yeah.
right. So
Well, yeah. Was like you said, Jupiter was like pretty bright, so you couldn't see as much details. Was it the
yeah,
same, or was it better looking for Saturn?
Saturn was dimmer. So, but because it was dimmer, it gets a little bit more color across. It's like a light beigeish instead of just pure white. But it
Hmm.
was also smaller because further away, it's smaller than Jupiter actually by a little bit, and then it's really far away. So it ends up being smaller, but thankfully it still looks good. Again, with every one of these, it always looks better just looking through the telescope with my eyes. But I can't quite give you that experience directly. We haven't invented brain chips for me to directly upload that, so I have to stick with photoing for now, which is not perfect. It's always like a good bit worse than my eyes, but that's what happens. That's what I
Yeah.
gotta do.
Did you try using your phone to take it in the sky, or did you not try that?
I haven't directly tried that because I just think, I mean, it would be kind of a waste of time. The
Hmm.
moon, I mean, it might be worth it, but again, I'm using 60 times magnification on my telescope, which is a lot better than
Yeah,
just
you'd probably only be able to
this.
do the moon
Yeah,
with like Samsung with the 100x zoom, but
yeah.
that's
But, well, not a Samsung iPhone, so
yeah,
I'll stick to
don't
using the
have that
telescope for now.
privilege.
Yeah, stick to
Well,
telescope for now.
yeah. Have you heard about any internships happening in your school or around anywhere?
No, I
No,
haven't.
I don't know. Okay.
No, I'm aware as a later close to uni thing. Well, before uni, here there are opportunities in some CubeSat ventures. So looking at CubeSats, small level telescopes, early aerospace engineering stuff, which I'd be interested in. But it's not for my grade, for my year yet. So I'll have
Yeah.
to wait for that or prepare for that as an option. But that's it.
Okay.
So to
I
wrap
think
up.
that's it. Yeah, that's
Wrap up.
a
This was a pretty
decent
interesting
amount that we
one.
talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
See you in the next
Subscribe, I
episode.
guess. See you next episode.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.
Bye.